dedicated to southern and eastern Kentucky. This is WYMT Mountain News at 5:30.
With limited funding options for school-based arts programs, many high school bands are just trying to make ends meet. That is no different for Prestonsburg High School. WYMT's Buddy Forbes has more on what local entities are doing to help out.
Not to toot their own horns.
The arts are so important to students because of the life lessons that it teaches.
But high school arts programs put a lot of work into their crafts.
You have to work through it. You have to work hard to get better, to get through it.
But a lot of work does not always equal a lot of funding.
Some of the arts have been cut so much in the last few years. We felt like we were in a place to try to help with that.
That is why the Mountain Arts Center is introducing a new event.
We're here for a reason. We were built for education and helping the schools and the students, and we want to continue to be a part of that and grow and expand on that.
January will bring musicians to the MAC for a night of benefit singing.
It's a night of country and blues and rock and a lot of Americana, so it'll be a good night.
All proceeds from the first event will go toward reviving Prestonsburg High School's band program to purchase more instruments for students who cannot afford to buy their own.
This area, with the talent that's here, it would be great to start them in school so that they can give them the foundation they need for their future careers.
Celebrating those who bring art to the mountains. In Floyd County, Buddy Forbes, WYMT Mountain News.
Jamuary is scheduled for 7 p.m. on Saturday, January 25th. Organizers say this will be an annual event and a different school will benefit each year. Well, deputies in Clay County say this morning Operation New Year's Resolution landed 7 people behind bars. During a search warrant at a camper, investigators say they found a large amount of meth and firearms. This picture shows some of what they found. Once they left that location, they served another warrant at another home and a vehicle finding more meth, money, and even more guns. They arrested Jordan Lewis, Albert Rourke, Matthew Robinson, Tracy Eversole, Melissa Asher, Teresa Bowman, and Johnny Asher. Well, meanwhile, the search is on for the man who robbed an Eastern Kentucky bank. Now take a close look at your screen. This is security photos released by Ashland Police. They say the man walked into a bank on Blackburn Avenue and demanded cash. It is unclear if he used a weapon. Police say he got away in a white van with West Virginia tags. That plate number is 7EM618.
It's a very mild day here in the mountains. We saw warmer temperatures after a cold start earlier this morning, and those warm temperatures, yep, they're going to stick around. As we look at Interstate 75, those clouds moved in, and yes, those will also stick around as we head into the next few days. Looking on top of Buffalo Mountain, usually looking at a gorgeous sunset, and we're just looking at those mostly cloudy skies this evening. It's because of this system out to the west. That's why we're seeing those clouds starting to creep back in, and we saw that warm front nose into the mountains today, which brought those warmer temperatures not only here, but a lot of places. You could see all of us into about those mid upper 50s, lower 60s on the eastern half of the United States. And yes, we'll be talking about some record warmth as we head into the next few days. 65 for the forecast high on Friday and 73 for the forecast high on Saturday. Both records right at 69, so could be breaking records. Also going to be dealing with windy conditions and even some rain by your Saturday. More on that coming up in just a little bit.
Hard to believe it's January. Thanks, Paige. Well, satellite pictures are showing us the extent of Puerto Rico's power outages. About 2/3 of the island are without electricity after a series of powerful quakes and aftershocks hit this week. The second image was taken after one of the largest power plants was severely damaged. Engineers say about 75% of homes should have power by the weekend, but some people could be without power for the year. The earthquakes killed 1 man and damaged or destroyed dozens of homes and buildings. Well, U.S. and Canadian officials say it is highly likely that an Iranian anti-aircraft missile downed a Ukrainian jetliner late Tuesday, killing all 176 people on board. President Donald Trump is suggesting he believes Iran was responsible. Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, whose country lost at least 63 people in the crash, said evidence indicates the plane was struck by a surface-to-air missile. Well, the crash came just a few hours after Iran launched a ballistic missile attack against Iraqi military bases housing U.S. troops amid a confrontation with Washington over a U.S. drone strike that killed an Iranian Revolutionary Guard general. Today, Allison Baker learned several Western Kentucky police officers are deployed overseas near that base.
Tuesday night, Iran launched a missile that hit a base in Iraq housing U.S. troops, and this news is hitting close to home. The Bowling Green Police Department has a few officers who are currently deployed overseas, and they are thinking and praying for their brothers in arms.
Yeah, we've had several officers deployed over the years overseas, and we have a wall dedicated to them when they're deployed, so every day when the officers come in, they see those officers who are deployed, military deployments, just so we can keep them in the forefront of our thoughts and prayers each day when we come into work.
The Bowling Green Police Department is also thinking about others in our area who are deployed as well.
I know our department is grateful for the men and women of our community that serve in the military. We're so grateful for them and what they do for us and the freedoms that they provide for us. And so we think about them and pray for them on a daily basis.
Other law enforcement agencies in Bowling Green are thinking about those overseas, including Sheriff Brett Hightower, who served in the military and fought overseas himself.
There's a large sacrifice that takes place when somebody does go to serve their country. It's not just them. A lot of times it's their family, their children, their community. And so we just would like to thank all those for their service who continue to serve, and we look forward to getting them back into our community so they can continue just working here, living here, and enjoying their life here.
Officers and community members are offering continued prayers for all military members who are deployed. Reporting in Bowling Green, Allison Baker.
Now, we're told all of those officers are okay. Due to security reasons, their names and locations cannot be released. Well, a judge has sentenced the man convicted of killing a U.S. Marine in Lexington to life without parole. A jury found Dewan Molitzim guilty of murder and robbery in October. He shot and killed Jonathan Price and injured the Marine's wife. Now, the shooting happened in 2014 as the couple waited for a ride outside Austin City Saloon. Investigators say Molzim and another man robbed them prior to the shooting. The judge sentenced Molzim to 78 years in prison on other charges. Well, Lexington's health officials confirmed the city's first flu-related death. They say a person older than 50 with underlying health issues died. The number of flu cases confirmed at last check was up to 141. That's 77 more than last week, and almost 100 more cases than reported this time last year. Doctors say it's not too late to get your flu shot. St. Joseph Hospitals and Baptist Health in Lexington have some visitation restrictions in place. UK Healthcare says UK Hospital has no restrictions in place at this time. Well, Elton John pledged $1 million to help the victims of the wildfire in Australia. Sir Elton made that pledge during a concert in Sydney. Other stars who've stepped up to support the Australian wildlife relief effort include Pink, Metallica, and Keith Urban. Since September, more than 15 million acres have burned in Australia, killing 26 people and millions of animals and damaging thousands of homes. Well, a woman is accused of being part of a staged robbery at the convenience store where she worked. Police in Louisville arrested Shaquille Jackson. They say last month someone Jackson knew faked the robbery and took cash and lottery tickets. Police arrested Jackson this week. She's charged with theft and false reporting. In Tennessee, an 18-year-old man is accused of stabbing a woman to death outside of Pigeon Forge. Police say an employee was leaving Sunliner Diner last night when Gabriel Trorkis approached him. The two got into an altercation. Police say that's when he stabbed her. Bystanders tried to help the woman, but she later died. Police arrested him several blocks away. He's charged with murder and aggravated assault. Coming up on Mountain News at 5:30. We've seen smartphones that can fold, but now at CES in Las Vegas, tech companies are showing off tablets and laptops that can bend.
And windy weather will return as we head into the next few days, along with some record warmth. We'll also talk about those weekend rain chances coming up in just a little bit.
And a state-of-the-art recording studio right here in the Commonwealth and a high school. I'll tell you who they partnered with and the advantages of this program after graduation.